My girlfriend Sophia, who was supposed to be engaged to me, got engaged to her ex-boyfriend David the day before. When delivering takeout, I witnessed this scene. Her face flashed with panic. Then she proudly took the other person's arm and boasted, "David has a villa. What do you have?" The second day, my dad called me home. He said he wants me to inherit billions of assets. Remember to subscribe when you start liking the main text. Coming out of the engagement hotel. After blowing a cold wind all the way, I returned home. Throughout the entire process, I am surprisingly quiet. There is a courier at my doorstep. Check the outer packaging. Inside is a valuable figurine. I never play games. David is a passionate enthusiast of games. It's funny that, every month spent with me, my girlfriend Sophia always changes her ways to give gifts to David. For my legitimate boyfriend, the only gift she has ever given, it's a basketball. David still doesn't like it. Returned back. Sophia is very angry. Throw the basketball into the trash can. I even stomped on a few feet to vent my anger. Later, I saw that I was using it. She angrily said she would rather throw it away. I can't let what belongs to David be tainted by me either. Sophia turned around and cut the basketball to pieces. She sneered and said, "You also deserve it." I can almost see David mocking me. Sophia and I were affected by David's appearance. There have been countless arguments. In limine. Sophia will also explain, saying it's just a friend. Later, Sophia remains silent. Subjected me to cold violence all night long. Later on, Sophia said I'm always suspicious. I don't know how difficult her job is. I have broken my heart for this family. He also said I'm sick and sick. The most emotionally charged time. Sophia slapped me. And then he walked away. It's pretty good now. Finally, there's no need to argue anymore. I packed my things until late at night. I just heard the sound of the door opening. David is standing at the door, holding a bouquet of flowers in his hand. Sophia followed behind him, with a sweet smile on his face. David sneered disdainfully. "Say, James, why are you so messy? No wonder Sophia keeps complaining to me about you." I was stunned. A nameless flame rose in my heart. In the past 2 years, I dress up according to Sophia's preferences, even being covered to the point of heatstroke while delivering takeout. I also refuse to take off Sophia's favorite white shirt. But now, I don't want this anymore. Tired. Sophia raised her head arrogantly. He walked up to me and commanded, "James, you should stand there. We want to talk to you." I am almost a conditioned reflex. Bounced up from the sofa. What she said. I have always been obedient. David sneered disdainfully. "Say, James, I specifically came to explain the misunderstanding just now." He turned to Sophia. The two of them exchanged a smile at each other. Family relatives chew their tongues. Say I'm not married yet. My mom gave me a bad idea out of helplessness. Let me find someone to pretend to be my girlfriend. I have few friends. The only person I can think of. Only Sophia. David continued to say, "If this matter makes you feel bad, I sincerely apologize to you. It's all my fault alone. You can punish me any way you want. Even if it kills me. I am willing to endure it willingly. Just hoping it won't affect your relationship with Sophia." I haven't had a chance to speak yet, Sophia said with heartache. David apologized to you in such a low voice. Can't you be more magnanimous? It's hard to justify watching them protect each other. I feel like a clown who doesn't fit in. What Sophia said to me at the hotel. It doesn't seem like a joke. Whether it's telling the truth through acting, still taking the opportunity to test David. They all made me extremely disappointed in her. My emotions instantly surged in my heart. I angrily said, "Do I still have to thank him for finding my fiancé AE? Go impersonate his fiancé AE. Even got engaged. Will you two sleep on the same bed in the future? You also need to tell me that you're acting." Sophia's face suddenly turned extremely ugly. Angry said, "James, can you please calm down? That's such a dirty thing to say. It seems like David and I are carrying you on our backs. What did you really do? It's like between friends. Isn't it normal to help each other? Say it again. What if we could really do it? What's up with you?" Last. Sophia still doesn't forget to look down on me. It's true that dogs can't spit out ivory from their mouths. Poor and lacking in character. At first, I had feelings for you. I'm really blind. Sophia finally spoke her mind. Very good. I haven't spoken yet. David interrupted and came in. James. If you have a fire, just send it to me. But you can't say that, Sophia. He put his hand on my shoulder. Make yourself look like a good person. Hurry up and apologize to Sophia. I guarantee that it won't happen again in the future. I shook off his hand. I didn't do anything wrong. Why do you have to say sorry? Is it because I am poor? I deserve to be betrayed. Should they have stepped under their feet? David was pushed by me. Immediately tighten your facial features. Pretend to be in pain. Sophia visibly became nervous. David. Have you been injured? Irrespective. He smiled and said to me. I didn't expect James to look thin. When it comes to hitting people, there is no ambiguity. Don't worry. This statement immediately angered Sophia. She turned her head and looked at me. Angrily said. James. Why are you so ignorant? David kindly asked you to apologize to me. You're still hitting him. As long as the eyes are not blind. It can be seen that David is pretending. Unfortunately, Sophia believed it to be true. That's ironic. She's staring at me. The tone is full of gunpowder smell. James. I'm warning you. Immediately. Kneel down and apologize. Sophia. I don't mind. I didn't get James' consent first. I'll take you away. How can I make him apologize to me? After all, he's your boyfriend. David said this. Sophia became even angrier. She pointed at me and shouted loudly. James. You're deaf in your ears. If you don't apologize today, just wait for the breakup. That's the same sentence again. Before. I will definitely kneel down immediately. Please don't leave me, Sophia. But today. I can't bear it anymore. Branch. Who doesn't distinguish who is the grandson? I'll drop this sentence. Dragging luggage. Turn your head and leave. Sophia said to me with a cold face and anger. You've developed skills. How dare you tell me to break up? Good. Break up. David pretended to persuade Sophia on the side. Don't be angry. Don't worry. Wait and see. It won't be an hour. James will cry obediently and beg me to reconcile. Let's ignore him. Sophia deliberately said it to me. When I was in college, I silently fell in love with Sophia for a long time. David is our senior. On the day he graduated and went abroad, he broke up with Sophia. That rainy day, I held up an umbrella for Sophia. Afterwards, she became her new lover. In the past 2 years, I have had feelings for Sophia. It can be said to be obedient and compliant. No matter how tired I am for her, I am still content with it. However, after David returned to his home country, Sophia feels like a different person. Talked to me continuously. They all showed a dirty expression. Since you hate me so much. That's as she wished. I resolutely slammed the door and left. At this moment, I feel as if I have been liberated. Facing the free and unrestrained night sky. Running with the wind. I told my parents. This relationship has ended. I want to look forward. Don't look back. The second day, my dad calmly called me home. Tell me. Our family is not poor. Several listed companies. Billions of assets. Thunder Group is our family's enterprise. It's time for you to come back and inherit the family property. When villas, luxury cars, stocks, antiques, cruise ships. Right in front of me. I am truly a genuine second-generation wealthy person. My parents pretended to be poor in front of me. Wear cheap clothes. Eating an 8 yuan boxed meal. Just to let me experience the hardships of life. The first thing I do to restore my identity. It's a visit to the Olivia family, a close friend of mine. Olivia's grandfather is particularly enthusiastic. He asked me to come over for dinner for several days in a row. I can always be at Olivia's doorstep every time. Seeing flowers in hand. David, who smiled obsequiously at the security guard. I heard he has been chasing Olivia for 2 years now. Don't even mention meeting Olivia. I haven't even entered Olivia's house. Significant. David was hanging Sophia on one side. But on the one hand, she has long been disdainful of her. The first 2 days. David sneered at me when he saw me swaggering in. On the third day, Olivia's grandfather called me a virtuous nephew. David broke the defense directly. He asked me in confusion how to deliver takeout. Only then can it reach my level. I'll just put it on. I did a greasy touch on my hair. Tell him with a hint of mystery. Young, handsome, and bold is enough. Olivia's grandfather likes this kind of thing. The result was that evening. David stripped himself naked. Run to Olivia's grandfather's bed. Please ask Olivia's grandfather to also love him. Olivia's grandfather was so angry that he almost had a heart attack. It's useless for anyone to plead. Throw David into the stinky river. It took 3 days and 3 nights to calm down. My dad said, always remember the excellent style of hard work and endurance of our predecessors. Therefore, Rolls-Royce opens the way. Porsche press tail. I'm in the middle. Wearing a 10 yuan white t-shirt. 20 yuan jeans. Step on the chain of the bicycle to create sparks. Go inherit the family property. Halfway. My bike. Knocked down by a 4-wheeled reverse car. A familiar voice shouted from behind me. What kind of poor beggar am I supposed to be coming to pick porcelain? It turns out to be a rundown delivery person. One can't avoid one's enemy. I ran into David again. Then a sharp sound entered my ear. James. A few days no see. Why can't you even ride an electric scooter? Sophia rolled her eyes in disgust. Satisfied and took a photo of the BMW front cover. Be grateful for your choice. He. I would like to take a look. In the future, Sophia will know that I am 100 times richer than David. What expression will be on her face? I stopped the bodyguard who wanted to help with my gaze. Why don't you just lie on the ground? Hang Erlang said casually. What do you know? I am a hidden rich second generation. Just coming out to experience life. David burst out laughing. Exaggerated covering of the stomach. Laughing until tears welled up. Like hearing the funniest joke in the world. Sophia also shook her head. Look at me with sympathetic eyes. James. You are pathetic. Can't get me. You start daydreaming. It seems like we broke up. It's the most correct choice I've ever made in my life. I looked at Sophia with a smile, but not a smile. Facing her disdainful gaze. Said calmly. Remember what you said today. Don't cry and beg me in the future. Before getting on the car. David joked with me in a silly tone. Feed. The wealthy second-generation cyclist. Next week's Thunder Group charity dinner. If you don't come. It's just a dog. I lazily yawned. Nodding casually. My father is cruel to his own son. Organizing a charity dinner is quite diligent. David stepped on the gas pedal and walked away. I brought up a playful smile. Take out your phone. Feed. The police. Someone is driving in the opposite direction. Hit me. Also hit and run. Charity dinner held at my villa. It's just getting dark. Guests began to enter and exit. I have organized my attire. When preparing to go to the banquet hall, I ran into 2 acquaintances in the hallway. David holds a grudge. Last time I was detained by traffic police for education. He charged all the accounts to me. Enemies are particularly envious when they meet. As soon as he spoke, a powerful piece of information broke out. James. Sophia is pregnant. He saw me with a puzzled expression. David viciously poked my shoulder with his finger. 2 months old. Guess who the child belongs to? David has some intention. Because 2 months ago, I'm still with Sophia. But he doesn't know. Although I lived under the same roof as Sophia for 2 years. But he never touched her. The most intimate action. Just holding hands. I coldly sneered and said, even holding hands can lead to pregnancy. That's truly a medical miracle. David's face was like swallowing a fly. And Sophia's expression was also quite impressive. My expression is very calm. Calm down as if the whole thing had nothing to do with oneself. Just feeling emotional. I didn't expect it at that time. Sophia got involved with David. Afterwards, Sophia even called out to catch the thief. Blaming me for falsely accusing her of having a pure friendship with David. The result is, they don't just have one leg. Sophia is also pregnant with David's child. Look, I seem to have been stimulated. David felt relieved. He continued to show off. I said I have already secured the investment from Thunder Group. James. Unfortunately. You're afraid it's your whole life. I can't even see the face of the chairman of Thunder Group. I exude a coldness that I am too lazy to deal with. Raise your hand and knock off David's dirty hand that reached out to slap my face. I carry with me a confidence that they cannot understand. Said calmly in a calm tone. Then we'll see. I can not only see the chairman of Thunder Group, but also, I still have to sit next to him. Let him call me ancestor. Sophia shook her head. I rolled my eyes. I look hopeless. Sneered and said to me, you can also say such words. James. I see you're really crazy about money. I ignored her. Go straight inside. There was an unprecedented firmness in his gaze. I seemed to understand my dad's intention. If such a woman were to marry into the house, we have to destroy 3 generations. I walked straight towards the center of the banquet hall. It's forming a small circle there. They are all the most powerful families at the dinner party. The one waving at me from the center. It's my dad. There is also Olivia's grandfather with white hair. He is the head of the Olivia family. I was just about to walk over. Suddenly forcefully pulled away by someone. Without hesitation, Sophia pulled me into the corner. Hug your arms with both hands. She scolded me from above. Where are you from as Thunder Group? I thought I disguised myself as a bodyguard and sneaked in. Can we be safe and sound now? I don't even look at your shabby appearance. Sophia pointed at the door. Roar low at me. Get out now. Judging from your good grades towards me during those 2 years, I can ask Thunder Group to spare you. I gave her a sideways glance. I thought it was a bit funny and asked her back. What do you count? Can be the leader of Thunder Group? You. Sophia is very angry. Angry, continue talking about James. Don't be shameless. I'm too lazy to talk to her. Sneered and shook off her hand, saying, when I liked you. Whatever you say is what it is. I chuckled lightly. The body moving forward paused. My head is slightly tilted backwards. Said coldly to Sophia. I don't like you anymore. What do you say you are? Sophia stood there dumbfounded. Tears quickly accumulate in the eyes. Sophia doesn't think she likes me that much either. You promised to be with me back then. Just trying to use me to dilute the pain of heartbreak. But now I hear myself say I don't like her anymore. But her heart felt as if it had been pierced by a needle. It's even a bit unacceptable. Next second, a scene that made it even more difficult for Sophia to accept appeared. My dad squeezed out of the crowd. Open your arms and embrace me in your arms. Still in front of everyone. He gave me a few kisses on the face. My obedient son. Didn't you just ride your bike back and get bumped into? Don't be angry. It's a big deal. As a father, I'll compensate you. The atmosphere on site was eerily quiet. Needles falling around can be smelled. I disdainfully wiped the saliva off my face. Be able neither to cry nor to laugh. David just went to the bathroom. Come out. I saw the chairman of Thunder Group right in front of me. Oh my goodness. This is the living chairman of Thunder Group. His eyes lit up. Pounce over like a 100-meter sprint. Excitedly introducing oneself. Handing over business card. But because of a word from my dad. Stuck in mid-air. Little ancestor. Your dad, I was wrong. Can't I still do it? Can you persuade your mother tonight? Don't make her angry. David's hand trembled. The business card fell to the ground. He opened his mouth wide. My eyeballs are almost popping out. Even suspecting that I have hearing problems. I never doubted that I am the son of the chairman of Thunder Group. Until my dad introduced everyone like a big baby. He said I was released outside. The son who has experienced 20 years of difficult life. David was so scared that his face turned pale. A strong jealousy welled up in his eyes. Immediately, he poked Sophia with his arm with some concern. James, that kid. I don't think we'll cancel my big order, do we? If he holds a grudge. Just talking. David's father called over. Swearing straight into the face. Evil creature. Offended the son of the chairman of Thunder Group. He withdrew his investment. Capital chain rupture. Our company is finished. David is completely panicked now. He was sweating profusely. I tried my best to suppress my trembling hand like a sieve. Command Sophia to say. You go apologize to James. Go ask him to give us a way out. Sophia pouted her lips. His face is even whiter than his. Seeing her hesitate, David immediately became popular. Lower your face. It's like a different person. Stop coaxing and relying on Sophia. David's eyes are crimson. Command her with a strong tone. Go immediately now. Sophia's figure swayed, lowering his head to conceal the grievance in his eyes. Thinking back to the past, even though I worked hard and hard, I can't bear to speak loudly to her. I feel very uncomfortable in my heart. Sophia gritted her teeth and leaned towards me. James. Can you? As I move. The crowded crowd also changed direction along with it. Sophia was pushed by someone unknown. With a cry of surprise. When I was about to fall. A strong hand, passing through the crowd, stably hold her. Sophia smiled and turned her head. David. I knew you. See clearly who is helping her. The voice abruptly stopped. Sophia's face instantly turned pale to the point where there was no trace of any blood color. The person who helped her is not David. But it's the one she hates. The son of the current chairman of Thunder Group. Sophia paused for a moment. Then a hint of excitement quickly flashed across her face. The extinguished hope. Reignite at this moment. The person beside smiled and asked. James. This is. Friend. My voice is very indifferent. Responding without any emotions. These two words. But it struck heavily on Sophia's heart. The smile at the corner of her mouth turned uglier than crying. My dad looked at her suspiciously before saying. The little girl looks strangely familiar. Don't say anything. It looks quite similar to the person my son used to be with. This kid treats that girl like a treasure. We're almost engaged. You're only willing to show me photos. It's a pity, my dad. If we don't distinguish. That girl is now the wealthy Empress Dowager. Sophia's brain went blank. The sounds around suddenly seemed to be isolated. She's on the verge of collapse. The whole person looks like they've been struck by lightning. Standing there in a daze. Until David rudely pulled her away. Sophia is still immersed in pain and regret, unable to extricate herself. Sophia's emotions completely erupted. I couldn't help but cover my face and cry bitterly. The banquet is over. Olivia's grandfather smiled and said to me. He has a granddaughter who has arranged a baby kiss with me. Being sensible and obedient since childhood. Very suitable for me. At this moment. Butler calls. Sophia was in a car accident. Because of David's early departure. No one can contact him now. When I arrived at the scene. Sophia is lying in a pool of blood. She covered her lower abdomen and wailed in pain. The doctor said the fetus is gone. Sophia leaned in my arms. Tightly hold onto my sleeve. Crying heartbroken. There's a little girl. Follow from the scene of the car accident all the way to the hospital. I don't know why. She's even angrier than Sophia. She is wearing heavy makeup. Dressed strangely. Call me a scumbag when you open your mouth. Still shouting to kill me. Being so infuriated by her. Sophia's emotions became increasingly agitated. She would rather die. I also don't want to be hospitalized. Sophia tearfully asked me. Can you accompany me? Just one day. I'm begging you. James. The marriage alliance between Thunder Group and Olivia family is imminent. The news of me bringing a woman home to live spread like wildfire. Olivia's grandfather came to demand an explanation for this. Coincidentally, at this critical juncture, Sophia accidentally fell down the stairs. Seriously injured. If we send her away at this moment, very likely to cause fatalities. The relationship between the two families broke down as a result. In a blink of an eye, I learned the news that David had climbed onto the Olivia family. David's company has come back to life. Thunder fell into a low point. Original. Olivia's mother cheated on her husband during her pregnancy, driving out alone in anger. As a result, a car accident occurred, causing one corpse and 2 lives. That's precisely why Olivia hates people who are not passionate the most. After hearing about these situations, I kept it from my parents. I quietly went to Olivia's house. Just arrived at the door. I saw my old acquaintance David. He was wearing sunglasses, embracing a beautiful woman. A smug expression of spring breeze. When shouting at me, his face was full of the expression of a young person achieving success. Oh, hey! Isn't this the son of the famous chairman of Thunder Group? Why is it like a lost dog? Carrying my parents behind my back. I came looking for someone shamelessly. I instantly understood. All of this was orchestrated by David from behind. He caused a car accident. Let Sophia use the bitter meat meter, attempting to sow discord between the two families. This guy really has a good plan. I sneered and moved my neck. The fist clenched with a crackling sound. Seeing my posture, David skillfully hid behind the woman, stuttering as he spoke. What are you up to? This is right in front of Olivia's house. If you dare to take action, just wait. Bang, bang. I punched David hard on the bridge of his nose. Nasal bleeding suddenly gushed out. He immediately let out a sharp cry for help. Just David's skinny chicken-like physique. Who is my opponent is someone who does physical labor every day. I pressed David to the ground. Draw the bow both on the left and right. Make him scream loudly. David calls people quickly. Within 5 minutes, I was surrounded by a group of black-clothed people. David awkwardly got up from the ground. Invite the bodyguard to join us. But suddenly I was stunned. Then obediently bow behind him, shouting respectfully. Hello, Olivia's grandfather. What? Olivia's grandfather. David's mental alarm bell sounded loudly. I didn't even think about it. He turned around and pounced on the ground, begging for mercy. Last time, his sharp-eyed behavior, causing Olivia's grandfather to feel nauseous when he sees him now. As a result, David and a group of bodyguards knelt on the ground for 10 minutes. But there was no response. David looked up. There's no trace of Olivia's grandfather. And I had already sneaked into Olivia's house. Play them around like this group of people. I explained the whole story to Olivia's grandfather. Olivia's grandfather just waved his hand. Asked the butler to send me away. Far away. I saw 2 sneaky figures squatting in the flower bushes across from Olivia's house. It turns out that David deliberately crouched at the door waiting for me. See me coming out. David threw his cigarette butt on the grass in a gloomy manner. Fiercely crushed to pieces. He spoke fiercely to me, James. If I don't kill you this time, I am not human. Quickly. I was tightly surrounded by a group of thugs carrying sticks. David is leaning on a cane. Limped over. After being beaten up by me. David's appearance is not very good. It's even worse. I had a sudden inspiration. Shouting behind David. Olivia. You finally arrived. David trembled for a moment first. After realizing it, he was so angry that he laughed out loud. James. Do you think I'm stupid? Last time you cheated me badly enough. I want to repeat the old trick this time. There's no door. He gave the order. The black-clothed men swarmed up. But in the next second, they were carried by Olivia's bodyguards like little chicks. He picked up his collar and threw it out. Olivia stood beside the tall bodyguard, appearing increasingly delicate. She's still the same as that day. Dressed in a strange and peculiar outfit. Wearing the ancient and quirky Neza hairstyle. And mischievously stuck out his tongue at me. Agreed. When the sky falls, there's Auntie, I'll hold it up for you. The so-called breaking into Olivia's house without thinking. It doesn't exist at all. I already knew before coming here. Olivia is the little girl from that day. David got up with a dusty face. He first looked at Olivia. Then he said to me, James. I'm too embarrassed to say you. You can grow dim sum. I don't even know how to find someone who can act professionally. He looked up and down at Olivia. Emit contemptuous slurs. Just like this, it looks like a rustic bun from the countryside. Fortunately, I pretended to be Olivia. It's so funny that you can laugh your teeth off. I gave David a compassionate glance. This person is really hopeless. Amidst his heart-wrenching apologies and wails, Olivia's bodyguards mercilessly threw him into the stinky river 50 kilometers away once again. After. My relationship with Olivia's family has eased. I told Sophia. The medical conditions in the hospital are better. Beneficial for her early recovery. She doesn't have to worry about the cost. Upon hearing this, Sophia's medication hand trembled violently. The glass in my hand fell to the ground. Break into pieces. Sophia looked up pitifully. Please don't drive her away. She couldn't repay me for my great kindness in saving her. Willing to be a cow and a horse in Thunder Group for the rest of my life to repay me. I'll just make it clear. Sneered at Sophia. You should be well aware of it. Why did I let you go? Cheating, throwing blame, and taking the child's life to gain sympathy. And also provide David with a tip-off. Can Sophia stay until now? I have done my utmost in benevolence and righteousness. Sophia, kneel down. Desperately begging me. She said she was forced and helpless. She regrets it very much. She also said she loves me. I am not moved. Turn around and go downstairs. No room for negotiation was left for Sophia. Not long after. Just heard the servant exclaim in surprise. Sophia committed suicide by cutting her wrist. Oof. Here's another set. I sneered. I fainted. Just right for the hospital. Someone like her who is insatiable in greed. This time even includes medical expenses. I won't even give her a point. After sending Sophia away. My relationship with Olivia's family is as good as ever. David and Olivia's business naturally fell through, offending both the Thunder Group and the Olivia family in New York. This is almost equivalent to being sentenced to death. David's father came to apologize overnight with David, who was soaked in a foul-smelling river and had a foul odor all over his body. They knelt at the entrance of Thunder Group all night, but returned without any success. David's father said indignantly, "What a Thunder Group! Relying on how much stinky money one has. Do you really think our David family is easy to bully?" After. David's company has started to sell a large number of stocks to cash out. Frequent contact with wealthy individuals in the Washington area. Through this matter, the relationship between Olivia's family and me has become even closer. Olivia's grandfather's profound thoughts led to the marriage between me and Olivia. Olivia often clings to me too. Take me shopping. On one occasion, Olivia's empty space to go to the bathroom. A charming aroma wafted in. "James. I didn't expect to run into you here. What a coincidence." I looked up and saw. It's actually the school flower Mia. She was wearing a tight, hip-hugging skirt. Her delicate and graceful figure swayed gracefully in the gentle breeze. Mia's gaze flickered. "Bite your teeth lightly and say to me, James. Actually, I came specifically to find you. We were in the same chess club during college. At that time, I had a good impression of you. Now you've broken up with Sophia. Can I be your girlfriend?" My expression froze. Just about to speak. Suddenly, a figure flashed in front of me like a ghost. Next second, I have more people in my arms. Olivia leaned tightly in my arms like an octopus. "Call my husband," sweetly with an unprecedented milky voice. I was so shocked that my eyes widened. "Boss. When did the heart start fulfilling the engagement again?" Seeing my stiff expression, Mia smiled knowingly and said, "I missed you once in college. I won't back down again this time. Speak up. Mia, take a step forward. Hold my hand confidently. Good heavens. This is really holding someone in my arms. I'm still holding one in my hand." Loli, the queen's sister, is not mistaken. Passers-by saw the situation. They all cast envious glances at me. "Brother. Oh, cow. I'm so embarrassed that I can even dig my toes out of 3 bedrooms and 1 living room." I quickly told Mia about the marriage alliance with Olivia. I didn't expect Mia to still not let go. She looked at me with a firm gaze. "James. Do you mind changing your girlfriend? Speak up." Mia also provocatively showed Olivia her sexy and hot figure. I held down Olivia, who was so angry that she wanted to bite someone. Shake the head. Expressing concern. Mia still doesn't give up. Bite your teeth. Simply ask. "Do you mind having an extra girlfriend? I call you a good guy." Pulled Olivia and quickly fled the scene. I didn't expect it the next day. Mia has become my personal assistant. I looked at Mia in front of me, dressed as a maid, in horror as she spoke of James one by one. Make waves surge in my heart. When Thunder Group was on the brink of bankruptcy, Mia's family once extended a helping hand. Nowadays, Mia's family is the leader of the wealthy in the Washington area. Mia is just like Olivia. They are all heiresses. But Mia only hopes to be my assistant by my side. One day during breakfast, the butler frowned and said to me, "Sophia is guarding the entrance of the villa again. Since the last time I threw her to the hospital, Sophia guards the villa entrance every day. Just asking for a glance at me." I didn't want to pay attention to it. Mia confidently said she had a solution. After a while, I saw Sophia fleeing in panic. I really haven't been here since then. I'm curious. What exactly did Mia say to Sophia? But she winked at me charmingly. Mysteriously speaking. Secret. Olivia also came after hearing about this. The moment I saw Olivia, I almost couldn't move my eyes. Olivia was wearing a pure white long dress. Temperament is out of dust. Beautiful as distant mountains. Lips are like blooming cherry blossoms. After removing the exaggerated makeup of little sister from before, Olivia's facial features are so delicate that it's hard not to take a few more glances. Olivia naturally took my arm. Glancing back at Mia, he raised his eyebrows proudly. Then throw the marriage certificate to Mia. Speak to Mia. This man. I'm going to make a reservation. Understand? Mia always had a faint smile on her face. Speak to Olivia. I'm just James' personal assistant. Olivia doesn't need to have such strong hostility towards me. She even deliberately bit the word close-fitting very heavily. It's clearly stimulating Olivia. Olivia angrily warned Mia. Please call me James' wife in the future. I helplessly raised my forehead and gave a bitter smile. Plunged into work with one head. But David started making small moves again. He first stuffed a piece of paper insulting Party A into our bidding proposal. Later, he bribed the cleaning lady. Pull out the network cable every few hours. Make network engineers helpless. This has had a significant impact on the company. I just received another message. Many talents in the company were poached by him. The other party also maliciously lowers the prices of similar competitors. Expand market share. It seems that I have received guidance from an expert. David's company is showing signs of revival. That day, I have a meal with the person in charge of Party A. As a result, the dishes were swapped. All the dishes replaced are Thai cuisine that the other person doesn't like to eat. The scene was once awkward. And David is in the adjacent private room. With 3 or 4 people. I ordered a table of good dishes. I'm just about to eat and drink enough to see my jokes. I pushed the door open and entered. With a smile, she walked up to him, whispering in David's ear. Thank you for treating me to dinner. I directly snatched David's private room. Just a table of delicious dishes ordered by David. Have a pleasant conversation with Party A. And he didn't even have a bite of food to eat. I can only be invited to the adjacent private room. They were all staring at each other with big eyes. The choked chili pepper made tears flow down one's face. At this moment, Mia is wearing a black long dress. Money walked in. David just got angry with me. I'm holding back a lot of anger. See Mia. Suddenly, my eyes lit up. His mouth was as if he had wiped away dirt. A vulgar joke will come as soon as you open your mouth. Here. The owner of David's company has gone through countless hardships. The expert who was hired only after almost crushing their threshold. Running in with a frightened expression. Seeing an expert. David is even more reckless. He pointed at Mia as if offering a treasure. A pleasing smile on his face. Mark. You don't know yet, do you? This is the personal assistant that James just hired. It used to be the school flower of our school. I didn't expect it to be a prostitute. That Mark, who usually stands tall and aloof. I saw Mia today. But it's like a mouse seeing a cat. Too scared to make a sound. I'm almost scared to tears. He desperately signaled David's eyes. But David, this silly guy, still asked Mark with concern. Are your eyes uncomfortable? Why do you blink so frequently? What's that anger in Mark's heart? It's like a heart attack. As David spoke more and more absurdly. Mark's heart attack was so severe that it almost went up in place. Mark swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Whispered warning to David. Stop talking about it. Keep talking. I don't even know how to die. David immediately understood Mark's meaning. A pair of eyes were staring recklessly at Mia. With a lewd smile, he said. Mark. You can relax. I'll clean her up tonight. Delivered to your bed. Mia sighed. His gaze fell on Mark's face, which was even uglier than crying. Said impatiently. Butler Robert's nephew, right. Just one sentence. Scared Mark so much that he collapsed on the ground. Trembling with fear. My pants are all wet. David's face was full of confusion. But now he can't speak at all. Because Mark had someone stop him. I stuffed a smelly sock into his mouth. Mia brushed her hair a little bored. Cold and casual expression. There is a sense of oppression emanating from all over my body, as if I were in a superior position. She looked into the eyes of these two people. It's like watching 2 ants about to be crushed to death. From now on, you and Butler Robert. You can get out of Washington now. Mark heard this. My legs are soft. I'm glad to have finally saved my life. He just wants to earn some extra money. I didn't expect it to be just a small profit. Unexpectedly angered the only daughter of Washington's boss Mia's family. Miss, calm down. I have eyes, but I don't know the truth. I bumped into you. I'll drag him out right away. Guaranteed to satisfy you. Mark's anger had nowhere to vent. Kick hard on David's lifeblood. David immediately bent down in pain. Half alive. When I walked in, David was dragged out like a dead dog. David stared at me with his dead fish-like eyes, whimpering from the mouth. I wish I could poke 2 holes in my body with my eyes. See me. Just now, I killed the decisive Mia. Immediately transform into a little bird and rely on the neighbor's little sister. This left Mark stunned. I almost blinded myself. After that night, David was bitten in a critical area by a vicious dog, not seeking medical attention in a timely manner, almost causing a tragedy. Olivia and Mia are completely on par. 2 people talk about life philosophy from piano and guitar. Today Mia boasted that she watched the moon with me. Tomorrow Olivia will be able to take me all the way to see the snow. Later, the 2 of them moved to the kitchen again. As a result, something happened on the same day. 7 people were poisoned. 1 person died. In the room, David excitedly licked his lips, staring at his precarious lower body. With a twisted and ferocious expression, he said, "Hurry up and check if James is dead." He waited for so long. Finally, this exciting good news has arrived. The Thunder Group refuses to disclose specific information, whether it's alive or dead. Outsiders only know that the person who died was a crucial figure in the Thunder Group. But who exactly is it? But I don't know. David was so angry that he flew into a rage. Smashed everything in the house to pieces. The second day. In the private hospital of Thunder Group. A female nurse with stubble has arrived. 11 p.m. at night. Most people are already sound asleep. This time period happens to be the nurse's shift handover. I lay on the sickbed with my eyes close to rest. The nurse pushed open the door and entered. Remind me to take my medicine. I yawned. Lazily flip over and sit up. But the nurse didn't deliver the medicine and water for a long time. I looked up and saw. I saw this nurse with a protruding Adam's apple. Bristle with anger. 2 eyes staring like copper bells. My whole face turned purple red. Angry as if about to explode. That face with heavy makeup. It can't be said that David looks completely unrelated. Just the same. His hand holding the cup trembled with anger. Seeing me live well. I hardly thought about it. Just rushed up and tightly grabbed my throat. His eyes emitted a fierce and brutal gleam like that of a wild beast. Roaring loudly. James. Why are you so difficult to kill? This poison won't kill you. Good. I'll send you to hell right now. David's hand strength is getting stronger and stronger. I am not at all anxious. Instead, it brought up a triumphant smile. Next second, he suddenly crouched down with his legs clasped in pain. Wails echoed throughout the entire hospital. Mia smiled and comforted other patients outside the ward. Don't panic, it's okay. Our hospital is currently slaughtering pigs. Inside the ward, Olivia is full of dominance. A Foshan shadowless foot accurately kicked David's key area. This kick directly put David's already struggling little rascal to a complete halt. Olivia shook her head and sked twice. Then thunderous applause erupted. Let's congratulate David. Sheedy's identity as the last eunuch of the 21st century. David was burning with anger. 2 eyes seemed to be about to spew out sparks. James. I'll fight with you. He stubbornly climbed up from the ground. Result. Pooh. I'll just take a sip of water. He sprayed it accurately on his face. Then he covered his stomach and laughed heartily. I have seen unethical people before. I've never seen someone as despicable as Olivia. Quickly. David was restrained by bodyguards. I lifted my eyelids lightly, glancing at him coldly. Don't you want to know who died? As my words fell, Olivia clapped her hands. A person lying on a hospital bed was pushed in. David saw the person on the hospital bed. First, I was stunned. And then the whole person felt like they were struck by lightning. He rushed over in terror. Burst out with mournful cries. Dad! Lying on the sickbed, barely alive. It's David's father. 1 day ago. David's father came to Thunder Group. Please don't rush to kill them all. Leave a way out for his family. My mouth slightly curved upwards. Show a faint curve. Say. But your son wants to kill me. How should we calculate this matter? David's father was immediately furious. Speak loudly. My son may be foolish and dull. But I also understand the principle of paying with one's life for killing. I would never do such a reckless thing. I sighed, pointing to the boiled duck soup on the dining table. Speak to him. David poisoned it inside. David's father responded confidently. Impossible. After one's words. I drank all the boiled duck soup in one go. Take a look. I just said no. The word matter has not been spoken yet. He just foamed at the mouth. Falling to the ground with one head. The poisoned nanny was brought up. She saw David's disheveled appearance. Knowing that the tide is over. Immediately pounced and knelt on the ground. Kowtow desperately. Cry and shout at me. Young master, spare your life. It was all David who instructed me to do it. He threatened my daughter's life. I really have no choice. A faint smile appeared on Olivia's lips. Raise the phone in your hand and say. Police uncle. Did you all hear it? Deal with David's matter. I went to the adjacent ward to visit Sophia. When she saw me, an incredible surprise flashed through my eyes in an instant. Immediately after, she hurriedly pulled up the blanket. Trying to cover up his haggard and aging face, he said to me, James, are uncle and aunt okay now? I responded calmly and found out that I had been poisoned with gelsemium. Doctors prescribed the right medicine. Now they are out of danger. After she heard it, he said to me with a reproachful tone, James, why are you still so unkempt? No wonder David used to complain to me about you all the time. I responded calmly, you should still call me James. Upon hearing this sentence, I clearly felt Sophia's body tremble slightly. It seems to be trying to suppress the surging emotions inside. I continued, thanks to you reminding me in a timely manner this time. Otherwise, my parents would probably suffer even more. Before David's father arrived. It's Sophia rushing in. It prevented us from dining. Since being persuaded by Mia to leave, Sophia has been secretly monitoring David's every move. To prove one's innocence, she drank 2 bowls of poisoned soup in a row. Sophia slowly put down the blanket. Show a face devoid of blood color. He smiled at me with a gloomy expression. Say, this is the only thing I can do for you. Used to make up for previous mistakes. I told Sophia. Actually, I have never blamed you. Sophia said she went through our chat records again. It feels like I've experienced my love for her again. I smiled. No talking. Just quietly accompanied her for a long time. This companion. It's like a silent farewell. It's time to let go. Let the past go. The road ahead is still long. Sophia said she felt relieved. But tears involuntarily flowed down. That day, Mia only said one sentence to Sophia. Let her flee in panic. What Mia asked is, have you truly loved James? At that moment, Sophia's heart seemed to suddenly stop beating. The road ahead is still long. It's just a pity. She has long lost the person who was once full of her heart and eyes. Some birds are destined not to be caged. Because every feather of it, all shining with the radiance of freedom. The boy has his own mountains and seas. There are overlapping mountain shadows. There are surging waves for thousands of miles. And that endless freedom. I stood up. Embrace Olivia's sparkling eyes like stars. Olivia has curved eyebrows and eyes. Smiling with joy. Stretch out your hand and take my arm. As if at that moment, she held the world in her arms.